This pope was noted as having stated, "All ages can attest how profitable that fable of Christ has been to us, and our company," or, the paraphrase which has been more widely stated, "What profit we have made from this fable of Christ." Pope Leo X, Pope from 1513-1521, is also noted having said to his brother, "Since God has given us the papacy, let us enjoy it." When an inner circle source such as a pope, those of royal blood or people writing either during or before the Holy Roman Empire fell and they refer to God, they are doing so with the knowledge that God was an inherited title, much the same as titles are inherited by royalty. In the case of popes, speaking of God, they are referring to the God of the New Testament, Arrius Calpurnius Piso. Pope Leo X was a Medici Pope. However, his mother was an Orsini. And this line of descent, given below, is through his mother's family line. The Medici claimed descent from the Claudio-Julian line of Roman emperors. Other papal families made similar claims, and such claims have been basically dismissed by most in academia. And the reason is that most who have tried to find such connections have been unable to do so. However, that does not mean that such claims were idle boast. They were in fact telling the truth. They were bragging with the knowledge that one day their statements would, indeed, be proven true. But they also knew that once their claims were substantiated, that it would not necessarily be seen as a good thing. And the reason for that is that it would mean that by that time, the public would know that history had been written in an entirely different context than thought, and that a rule by oligarchy would be exposed. And, most certainly, with the help of those such as myself, the public will at last be armed with the knowledge that finally exposes the fraud to all. As you will see, this pope was also a descendant of early Plantagenets, and the Plantagenets shared the same common ancestry with other royals and popes. Going back to, of course, Arius Piso. All roads lead to Rome. Straight line genealogical stemma chart, Arius Calpurnius Piso. Acca St. Peter etc., B37, D. 118-119 CE. Eustace C. Piso, B77, D. 165, Acca Justin Martyr. Pope Sixtus I, etc. M. Rupilia Faustina and or Eunice. Julianus C. Piso, B. Circ. 96, D. Circ. 130, Acca M. Annius Verus, etc. M. Domitia Lucilla II. Dr. of Domitia Lucilla I and P.C. Tullius Russo. Emperor Marcus Aurelius, B. 121, D. 180, Acca Pope Sota, etc. M. Faustina II, Dr. of Emperor Antoninus Pius, Acca Pope Pius I, etc. Annia Aurelia Galleria Lucilla, B. Circ. 149 CE. Alia Aurelia Commoda, B. circa 165 CE. M. Pompeianus Cunitianus, c. 160, 195 CE. Commodus Pompeianus, c. 190 CE. M. Mariana, Minor, or the Younger. Alia Aurelia Pompeia. M. Flavius Crispus, brother of Emperor Claudius Albinus, ruled 195-197 CE. Flavia Claudia Crispa, sister of Emperor Probus who ruled 276-282. M. Eutropius, Acca Ti. Cl. Martian, Gregory, Pope Felix I, etc. Emperor Constantius Chlorus, ruled 305-306, Acca Pope Eusebius, etc. M. Helena Britannia, and Theodora. Fl. Constantina, sister of Emperor Constantine I, who, d. 337 CE. M. Metius Memmius, Cos. 344, d. 347 CE. Fl. Blasilla, M. Rogatus, Greek prince, c. 340-390 CE. Saint Paula, d. 404 CE. M. Toxotius Toxatius, circa 400 CE. Toxotius Toxatius, circa 450 CE. M. Lita, Fl. Lita Toxata, M. Phidias Vidius, Atticus, Fl. Julia Vidia Perpetua, M. Fultonius, son of Adelphius, who d. 451, and Anicia Italia. Roris Roricus, Bishop of Limoges, d. 507 CE. M. Hyberi, Dr. of Omatius, of Auvergne. Omes of Limoges, M. Rusticus, Bishop of Lyons, d. 501 CE. Artemia, M. Florentius, Bishop of Genevieve, d. 513 CE. Industry Artemia, M. Ferriolus, son of Tontanius, c. 525 Ansbertus. Senator, d. 570 CE. M. Blithild, Dr. of Clothaire I, King of the Franks. Arnold, Bishop of Metz, M. Oder of Swabia. Arnold, Bishop of Metz, d. circ. 640 CE. M. Dode Clothilda, Ansagus, Anchise, Duke of Brabant. M. Beggar, Dr. of Pepin of Landin, who, d. 647 CE. Pepin of Heristal, century 670. M. Alpe, Charles Martel, century 686. M. Rotrude of Trier, Pepin, the Short, c. 750. M. Bertha, Emperor King Charlemagne, b. 748, d. 814 CE. M. Hildegard of Vinzgau, 758 to 784. Louis I the Pierces and de Bonnaire. K. Aquitaine, Emperor 814 CE. M. Judith Welf of Bavaria, 806 to 890. Charles II, Carlo Lecherve, 823 to 877. M. had 2 wives, including Ermengarde of Orleans, 823 to 869. Godhild of France, 865 to 914. M. Geoffroy III of Maine, 860 to 952. Godhild of Maine, 891 to 922. M. Herve de Bretagne, 871 to 955. Gerbage du Maine, 914 to 952. M. Folks II d. Anjou, her second husband 909 to 958. Geoffroy I d. Anjou, 940 to 987. M. Adelaide de Vermandois, 944 to 975. Gerbage, d. Anjou, century 970. M. Guillaume, William IV Telefa, d. Angoulême, c. 1028. Geoffroy, d. Angoulême, 991-1048. M. Petronilla d. Archiac, c. 1000. Folks, d. Angoulême, 1025-1087. M. Condona de Vegina, d. EU, circa 1040-1087. Guillaume, William the Fourth or the Fifth, d. Angoulême, 1070-1118. M. Vitepoy de Benages, d. Albret, c. 1100. Vulgran II. Telefa, d. Angoulême, 1089-1140. M. Ponce de la Marche, c. 1095. Guillaume, William the Fifth or the Sixth. Telefa, d. Angoulême, 1115-1179. M. Marguerite de Turenne, 1117-1163. Vulgran III. Telefa, d. Angoulême, 1146-1182. M. Elizabeth d. Amboise, 1155-1213. Mathilde d. Angoulême, 1170-1233. M. King John, Jean, d. Angleterre, Plantagenet, 1167-1216. Eleanor, d. Angleterre Plantagenet, 1215-1275. M. Simon V. of Montfort Leicester, 1209-1265. Guy Gouy Guido van Montfort Leicester, 1245-1291. M. Margaretha, Aldobrandischi, 1255-1318. Anastasia van Montfort Leicester, 1272-1306. M. Roman Orsini. Graf van Soana, 1270-1327, Roberto Orsini. Graf van Nola B. Circa 1295, D. Circa 1345. M. Sueva des Beaux, c. 1300. Anastasia Orsini, d. 1355. M. Jordan Orsini. Acca Giordano, circa 1300 c. 1365, d. 1367. Francis. Acca Francesco, or Frank. Orsini, 1325-1405. M. Constance, Aldobrandisci. c. 1380 Orso Orsini. c. 1381-1424 M. Lucretia Conti. 1381-1430 Jacob Orsini. b. 1413, d. Circa 1485. M. Magdalena Orsini. 1435-1480. Clarice. Acca Clarissa Orsini. 1453-1488. M. Lorenzo il Magnifico, de Medici. 1449-1492. Giovanni Medici. Acca Pope Leo X. b. 1475, Pope 1513-1521. M. Currently not available. Attributed to Pope Leo X. Pope from 1513-1521, which is correct. John Bale, Protestant, mentioned this as a quote in his Is Acta Romanorum Pontificum. In Latin originally, and then later to appear in the translated version. The pageant of the popes in 1574. Besides this mention of the statement by Pope Leo X, there were other witnesses to it at the time, as several inner circle members kept a record of it in their own family archives. Later, some accounts of this statement were made public by publishing them within various books and diaries. It was recorded, for instance, by Vatican librarian, the Cardinal Baronius in the Annales Ecclesiastici, in 1597. It is also found published in Inner Circle family material, which is attested to in materials such as The Criminal History of the Papacy, by Tony Bushby. An article that appeared in Nexus magazine, Volume 14 No. 3. April-May 2007, in which is stated that the comment was witnessed by the Pope's associates and recorded within the personal diaries. Those being Pietro Cardinal Bembo, see letters and comments on Pope Leo X, 1842 reprint, and Paolo Cardinal Giovio, in De Vita Leonis Decimi. God, i.e., the God of the New Testament, Acca, Arius Piso. Their ancestor gave them the papacy, by inventing it in the first place. It is my contention that all of the popes, or bishops of Rome, up to at least the fall of the Holy Roman Empire in 1806, directly descend from Arrius Calpurnius Piso, Acca St. Peter. And I demonstrate this in the genealogies of the popes which I am steadily posting publicly in various places online. In my various works, I explain where those who were writing the New Testament gave us the ability to find Arius Piso as the inheritor of the title of God, and is acknowledged as such by those who likewise participated in the creation and promotion of the New Testament and Christianity. In particular, Pliny the Younger, both as the New Testament Paul, and in his works as himself, Letters and Panegyricuses, does a fantastic job of exposing Arius Piso as the God of the New Testament by giving his various other names and titles, and in the New Testament as Paul, he calls Arius Piso, the new Adam, knowing that the individual writing Genesis was also playing the part of God there, as well as Adam. See my work demonstrating this as well. The God of Genesis was indeed considered a god in his own time, as he was the pharaoh who founded the 12th dynasty in Egypt. He went by several names, including Amenemhepti, and Adam, Nm-hept. Arius Piso, writing as Flavius Josephus, points to this when he calls Adam's son, Setostrus, the name of that pharaoh's son. See Whiston's translation, and the Loeb Classical Library edition of Flavius Josephus. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again for more videos.